Hello, everybody. Welcome into episode 1 of the Pepsi Cup podcast. I am your host, Firelinks, and I'm joined here by ESMN and Sam.
Hi, I'm the
Hello.
co-host.
I'm the
Yeah,
guest.
Michael. Esmond is Michael. He's the co-host. Sam is just
Yeah.
kind of here. We
Yeah.
picked him up off the street, found him, and invited him along.
Yeah, we needed a druggie on the podcast.
Okay.
What he said. So,
So far.
what are we talking about? It's like episode 1. We got to talk about stuff, you know?
Well, if it's a NASCAR podcast, we talk about NASCAR. The world of NASCAR.
Wait, no, I have some positive news. I basically just finished college. I'm done with school. I
But
just need to have.
you're,
I'm done.
you're in high school. How are you finished with college? You
Do you?
overachiever.
No.
Why? Why would you do that?
Have I not told you about what I'm doing at my high school?
No.
Well, I've been doing a college program at my school since freshman year, and
Did
I have
Henderson approve of this?
No.
Oh.
Also, Tony Stewart is upside down in NASCAR the game inside line.
Oh.
He's just skidding on his roof at Martinsville.
Anyways, we got Texas this weekend. I don't know when I'm gonna. Hey, Michael, you're gonna have to tell me how to upload this thing to Spotify afterwards.
All right, I got you.
But we should probably talk about Texas. I mean, the truck race just happened. It was kind of really awesome
It
in
was
the 50
lit.
laps that I watched, even though they kept crashing. But that finish was incredible.
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that race was overall a 7. Not even 7, but like a 6.5 out of 10.
I didn't even watch the
You got to
race.
take out the 0.5 because of the Jamie Little effect.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the race because I was at work, but I saw the highlights and it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it was overall a decent race. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best.
Also, I'm watching Michael Moritz sound like he's choking on his penis.
I'm watching.
Heim is the real deal. He is really good.
Yeah.
He is scary good.
Who?
Like,
who's?
He is like Kyle Busch bushwhacking good.
Corey Heim. Yes, I'm in.
Michael, you should join the Wiggly SMP.
Not right now, obviously.
Please.
Also, Casey Mears was just chilling on an invisible wall.
Oh. Well, so this weekend, Xfinity qualifying was rained out. I have no idea what the starting lineup is.
It's probably just points. Let me look.
Something else happened.
The CW Instagram page, or sorry, the NASCAR CW Instagram page usually posts that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm too lazy to check. It's 11:51 p.m. right now. Just so everyone's aware. So this episode may be completely different to anything that happens down the line.
Okay. So the current regular season standings.
This is like Pepsi Cup after dark.
Yeah, that's what I said, but no one listens to me.
We might hit on some very heavy topics later on, just because we get so tired and delusional that we just start talking about whatever.
Okay.
I'll have to see how much of this I can even upload.
All right. Okay, but anyways, this is probably going to be the top 15 starting lineup because this is the top 15 in points in the Xfinity Series. It's Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, Carson Kvapil. I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess Connor Zilisch is out because he broke his back in half. So actually, this is just the top 14 because Larson's probably going to
Can we
start.
talk about that for a second?
Yeah, well,
Sorry,
in a
Michael,
moment.
but we're going to disregard everything you're saying right now because
Okay,
Connor Zilisch had a very interesting interview earlier. I
I
Yeah.
did
don't
not
know if
want.
you got. Oh, there's a creeper, and it just blew up my front yard and half of my house.
That's okay. We can all ride the Dente.
Okay, why did everyone just go silent?
I don't know. That was so
Yeah.
not funny, Michael, that it elicited
So
no response.
What?
Yeah.
this,
So
yeah, that was a very interesting conversation we had today.
I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
anyways,
Connor's
Connor
village.
Zilisch said that he doesn't know how much he can speak about his injury, which I thought was
Wait, did he say that on the
interesting.
interview?
He said that.
Okay, damn. I don't think he should have said that because that kind of
Sounds
makes me
really
notice
suspicious.
stuff.
Like, what are we not allowed to know here?
All right.
What is either the
Uh,
team or NASCAR making him hide?
yeah. If this was, well, I mean, this is like the third like back injury or like recent back injury that's happened. Remember, we had Alex Bowman. Well, one of Alex Bowman's was caused by a
Alex
sprint car
Pullman was a
crash.
sprint car.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
remember
But
last
still,
year, Eric Jones at Talladega had his crash, and then Connor Zilisch had his crash.
okay, but didn't Jones hit the
You can't
outside
even
wall?
blame this on the next gen car because it happened also because this happened in the Xfinity series, but the next gen is still extremely
That
unsafe in my opinion.
the angle that Zilisch hit was the issue, though. Like that inside wall of Talladega is so dangerous. We've seen over the years how many hits that inside wall has had and the amount of
Yeah.
injuries it's caused. Like I
He
would
didn't even hit though the danger spot. He just hit the wall.
I'm gonna
that
be.
wall's
I'm
so
gonna just. I'm
dangerous.
just gonna say my opinion. I think it was like I think it was a freak accident. Because I mean, there's no way that that happens all the. It doesn't happen all the time. I think that was just. I think that was just a freak accident. Hope that you guys agree with me.
I think it was, but Talladega needs to remove some of those danger areas. I think, like
They
those
are. They
angles.
already announced they are
Okay,
fixing the wall where Christopher Bell crashed.
speaking
Okay.
of speaking of Talladega and fixing things, I this isn't specifically about NASCAR needed to fix the next gen like the Super Speedway package. I mean, it is, but like I I just fuck NASCAR because they're just
NASCAR has a severe problem on their hands.
yeah.
Yeah, they
No,
really they
it's not only that, it's that they're gaslighting the fans and it's pissing me off. I'm sorry for cussing like 3 times in like 2 sentences, but like I need to get my point across.
Yeah,
this
Like
is
but NASCAR's like,
I'm.
oh,
I'm not censoring.
we
I'm not
had like
censoring this. So
60
if you
lead
swear too
changes.
much, you're going to
I
get
don't
kicked
understand
off
why.
because I need money. Okay,
Yeah,
this is the
no.
money grab.
All right, okay. But anyways,
Welcome to
like
the money grab podcast.
I forgot who said this. I don't know if it was. I think it was the but that was
Taylor
Elton
Jr. I
Sawyer that
think.
said it. No, it was Elton Sawyer.
Oh,
He basically, to put it in short, basically what he said was like, "Oh, but there was like 60 lead changes on Sunday. I don't understand why the fans are complaining. I think we're getting great racing." So
well, hold on.
By
like,
To make a point,
he's just gaslighting the fans, and it
to make a
a
point,
really
bumper.
upsets me.
Okay, so probably 50 of those lead changes happened on the final run when the leaders swapped spots by half a bumper because they were stuck
Yeah,
side by side and nobody else could make a
uh,
move.
yeah, because
Michael,
it's not also,
mm,
by the way, in general, I know this is lead changes, but like when it comes to passing and stuff, NASCAR counts a pass as just the car being ahead of another. But like in my opinion, I think a pass should be if a car like completely clears them.
hmm
A pass is not just a change in position.
yeah. Um, prove a point about Elton Sawyer. Elton Sawyer didn't improve it as a driver. He didn't. He wasn't a good Cup
He
driver at
was
all.
not a good driver. He was not a good
Wait,
driver in general.
wait,
He should
Elton
not.
Sawyer drove in NASCAR?
Yes,
Yes.
Elton
when
Sawyer should not be in
Driving is a
charge.
bit of a stretch. More like he crashed in NASCAR a couple of years and then he quit
Elton
wait,
and
Sawyer
what?
got
should
a
This is
not
job.
be
news
in.
to me.
Elton Sawyer should not be in charge. What position is he? The director of.
Uh,
He's director of
oh,
something.
that's another thing I wanted to hit on. Keep going with your point, Sam, but I got something to talk about next.
Like Elton Sawyer is one of the worst people in NASCAR. He is a France family goon who is like Michael was saying, keeps gaslighting the fans, and I think by in 5 to 10 years, NASCAR is barely be a thing anymore. Like I think the sport is at a crossroads right now.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, a side note. So apparently he did run some cup races, and his best finish was 38th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just proves my point where he didn't cut it as a
I
driver.
mean, I will say though he did have 2 Xfinity wins, so that's cool, I guess. He
Doesn't
won.
matter.
He won a race at Myrtle Beach, and he won a race at New Hampshire,
Hmm.
and he had 2 poles.
So he wasn't the worst driver in the world, but he's not good.
Yeah. Well,
Catherine
I
Legg
mean,
is worse.
Kind of like a Ben Kennedy thing, you know?
Yeah, I like Ben
oh,
Kennedy. Ben Kennedy
oh,
should stay.
Um, Steve
I'm not.
Phelps. Can we talk about Steve Phelps?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
There
oh
was a
yeah,
rumor that he's like maybe
that the
going to golf.
yeah the PGA Tour. Please take him.
I'm
Take
sorry,
him.
golf fans, but yeah,
Listen, golf. He's your problem now.
but Steve O'Donnell would become
which is a
president.
bigger problem, which
Yeah,
is almost a bigger problem
because Steve
for the
O'Donnell
sport.
is worse.
You know, if
I
Steve
actually, the both
if he
Steves suck, but if we had
if
to rank them, I like Steve Phelps a lot more than Steve O'Donnell.
Yeah, Steve
in my
O'Donnell was the one who advocated for lower horsepower in 2015 and got what he wanted all the way through to 19 when we
Yeah,
yeah
killed the sport, essentially.
yeah the only reason why we got more horsepower, actually, you guys know this, I'm pretty sure, but it's still been a while though. When they were designing the next gen, they were originally going to run 550 horsepower everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then because the fans were like, please give us more freaking horsepower, they gave us 120 more horsepower.
I'm pretty sure it was the
So
drivers. They
it
tested
was
two packages and the drivers liked the second more.
but the fans also were begging for horsepower. And we
They need to
still
go. They
are.
need to go the eight. They need to go to 750 or 850 or 900 altogether.
All I'm going to
I
say is
like
on
what.
super
And
speedways,
also,
maybe reducing drag is the way to go,
yeah. Well,
not
I guess the way
necessarily
to
horsepower.
yeah, I think
Hendrick.
and the way to do that
You're
is they need to like lower that they need to, I guess, make the spoil they need
All I'm saying is that horsepower is not the only solution to make the cars go faster.
they
Denny
In
need
Hamlin.
2018, I
yeah.
saw a clip today. Kurt Busch on his qualifying lap at Kansas in 2018 with 750 horsepower hit 211 into turn one,
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
simply
just
how
saw
because
that
that
the
recently
spoiler was
too.
a tiny stub on the back of the car.
I don't think a tiny stub is going to make that much of a difference.
Yes, it has. It definitely has. 2014 just proves that point.
Yeah. Those
Maybe
2014 cars with a tiny stub on the spoiler probably could hit 230 miles an hour if they just went straight.
Yeah, didn't Clint Boyer almost hit like 240 at Michigan?
no
No,
hit like no
no.
he did no they
He
were
hit
doing a
like
test.
228. He hit
No.
like
That's
228.
I will say I think the horsepower that NASCAR had before they lowered the engines was fine. Like they didn't need to go any higher because if they went any higher, they were going to start killing people, and we don't want that as NASCAR fans.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want to kill as we don't want to kill the fans because then it's
Nin-
because
19,
that's been
1955 Le Mans would like to say something about that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
like, I
Denny.
will give a brief history lesson. Like, that killed like almost 100 people, and Switzerland banned motorsports for a really long time.
Yeah, for decades.
Yeah, I think.
Here's another thing I would like to talk about. Denny Hamlin made a great point on his podcast this week about Talladega and how he would fix the super speedway package. He would bring back the big ass spoilers.
That would
And
not work.
Wouldn't
The
wouldn't
issue with this current car is that it's too draggy. Increasing drag is not going to do a thing.
or I forget what he said, but
All that will do is increase the gridlock, but increase the runs, making it one, harder to pass, and two, harder to hang on to the cars because the runs are going to be so much bigger. It's essentially just going to make every super speedway race
and also
ever a
one thing that they
complete
did
utter
is
wreck fest with zero passing.
I
yeah,
forget what he said. I think he said like get rid of like the underbody and the what's that thing
yeah,
called? The diffuser. They get rid of it altogether, but the car would be broken at that point. Like
Yeah.
the car needs it. Like it's
yeah.
a
I
flawed
will.
The car is built
design.
around the diffuser. That's the
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. That's the only
Oh,
problem
Bowman just
because, like,
wrecked. Bowman just
yeah,
wrecked the big one at Talladega. Just happened.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
because
forgot
like,
you were watching that.
yeah, because like Denny Hamlin said on he said this on Actions Detrimental that like they ran testing at like Martinsville without the spoiler, and they sorry, not the spoiler, the rear diffuser and the underbody, and they said the car was basically undrivable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
Carson Savar pitched a good idea that I think could work. Not on super speedways. I think on super speedways you either have to get rid of the spoiler or increase horsepower a little bit, or both.
You know,
But
actually,
I
one thing I
think
will say, the
on other
diffuser,
tracks, what you need to do, Carson Hocevar said this, it's a really good point. Instead of making the tires soft enough that they
yeah,
wear, make them so hard that you never have grip in the first place.
yeah, I
You
will say
know
they,
that feeling when you go out playing F1 24 or something, you go out onto the track on fresh hard tires straight out of the pits, and they're like the coldest things in the universe, and they have zero grip when you try cornering for the first time. We need
Yeah.
tires that stay like that for an
yeah,
entire run.
yeah. One thing I will say, like this is actually one thing I need to give massive credit to when it comes to NASCAR. No, sorry, not NASCAR, just things related to NASCAR in general. Goodyear, besides like Bristol, Goodyear has been cooking recently with the tires. I think they've been doing a really good job making the tires actually fall off. The only things that
Yeah.
they need to do is not make the tires so temperature sensitive because like that's what caused Bristol to happen.
Well,
Yeah.
Bristol was a good race last year. I don't care what anyone says. Argue with the
Yeah,
game
no, I'm talking.
ball.
No, I'm talking about this year, like
Oh
because
yeah.
Saturday the track temp was very cold, and that's what really caused tire fall off because the track just didn't take grip. So all of
Hmm.
it just went all over the track.
Yeah.
But then on Sunday, the temperature it was like 90 degrees. I think that was the track temp, and now the tires didn't fall off, and you couldn't pass.
Pretty
And
much, yeah.
then so basically, like what NASCAR, what they're trying to do right now is they're hoping to God that Goodyear can bail them out with a good tire because like that's what made Martinsville really good last year into the fall Martinsville race because tires actually meant something.
Hmm.
Yeah. I still think going harder than softer is the way to go. I think instead of making tires that wear, we should just make tires that don't have grip. Because the issue you run into with tires that wear in this car is it seems like they almost wear at the same rate for everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how
And
much they wear if they all wear at the same rate for everybody because it's just not going to end up making a difference. So why
yeah,
not
no,
make it so nobody has grip? At least if you don't have grip, dirty air might feel less because you're already going to be handling
because
terribly.
yeah, because like for example, like at Darlington, yeah, tires fell off, but like you could only pass the one if there was a significant tire difference. Like like you could hardly pass
Yeah.
unless if you had like two lap pressure. Sorry, unless if you like pit 2 laps earlier before the other guy. But yeah.
All right, I'm on Reddit currently. Because
Oh,
I
great.
do want to talk about. I do want to talk about the super speedway package. I'm just going to read off some ideas that people have said. One guy has said, add the bumper extension from the Gen 6 car, remove the underbody, replace the step splitter with a flat one, and up the horsepower to 550. Then I'd tell them they shouldn't have sold a rotor for this, and the drivers and
That
engineers
won't work with
should be.
this car.
Yeah.
By the way, I probably
You want to
sound
know the
really
best
stupid,
recommendation?
but
You know the
what?
best
How are they?
recommendation I've seen? Bring
What?
the Xfinity car to Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no way in hell NASCAR would do it
There's
because
no way in hell NASCAR would ever admit they're wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That is the one thing that is so
If they
frustrating as NASCAR
haven't
fans.
yet,
It's
they're
like
not
they
going.
NASCAR
NASCAR is
they will
stubborn.
never NASCAR will
All the
never admit they
Steves
are wrong.
need
They just
to admit they
they need to
messed up.
one time that
They royally fucked up somewhere along the line.
and that all started with hiring Brian France. That's where this shit started.
Brian
Eh,
France started all of this.
I'm taking Brian France over whatever we have now any day of the week.
Jim France.
Brian.
All right, hold on.
No,
I'm listening
Jim,
to Action Sentimental right now.
I'm taking Brian France over Steve O'Donnell, Steve Phelps, Elton Sawyer, any of them.
I wish Dale Jr. could be the president of NASCAR or the commissioner or whatever they're calling it now.
All I'm
But he can't
saying
because
is
he's
Dale
because he
Jr.
owned
and Mark Martin
All right,
would
Dale
so
Jr. and
fix
Mark
this
Martin.
sport.
Hamlin
Bro,
said he would saw off the spoiler to be half the side, cut the horsepower out, and say go racing.
I think the horsepower is fine. They just
Look,
mainly need to like get rid of some of the downforce that the car makes.
look,
Downforce is
Dale
absolutely
Jr. would
ridiculous in the car.
Sorry,
Dale
not
Jr.
downforce.
would Dale Jr. would build a schedule that absolutely would be amazing for NASCAR. He'd also make a good format for NASCAR. He's already listed off a great one on
Mm-hmm.
his
Tell
podcast this
us.
past week,
Tell us.
where you have a 30 or so race regular season, and then the final 6 races is your your top 3 drivers race for a championship at six
Yeah.
different kinds of tracks. That's his format.
I do
I
like
think that
that,
works
but
because
I think
his
it needs to be
rationale his
it needs
rationale was we got too used to 16 people, 12 people, 8 people making the playoffs. When realistically, when you get to that point, there's only 3 people who deserve it, if that. There should
Mm-hmm.
not be more than 3, 4, maybe 5 people racing for a championship with 5 races to go.
I would say it needs to be 5. 5 is a nice number.
I
If I
think
had
3
to,
is the perfect
if I had to say, go back to the 2004 format.
No.
10 drivers.
Honestly, one format I wish NASCAR would use or they could
You
bring
see,
back is the wild card format, but maybe make it like 10 people instead of 12.
you see, big thing about a full season points format that Dale said that I fully agree with is that every race is just bigger.
Yeah.
You mess up once, you have one engine failure, you wreck your car once in a race.
Yeah.
Your
And
season's
also,
done. Your season might be done.
yeah. And one
You could
thing,
wreck the car at Daytona, and that would cost you a championship. Nowadays, you wreck the car at Daytona, you win a week later at Atlanta, and whoopee, you're in the
shit doesn't
playoffs.
matter.
You don't have to focus for the next 24 weeks because you're already in. You
Yeah.
wreck the car in a full
And
season
that's
point
the thing
format,
though.
or this format where only like 3, 4 cars make the final couple of races. You're doomed.
Yeah.
You're cooked.
Yeah. You're done.
I
Especially if
also
we end up going back to like a points format where like they're awarding more points and stuff. You're doomed.
yeah. I actually do have 2 things to say. I would argue that wins mean less now because
Yeah.
kind of, but not
They
really.
they
But
mean
let me
more
explain.
and less.
Sorry. Wait, no. Sorry. They mean more when it comes to like the actual like the format and stuff, but like there's less sentimental value. Like for example, like
Yep.
the last time it felt like I could remember an underdog winning or like it actually meant something with SVG because he was just there for like shots and goggles, and when he won, it felt like a big deal because there was no playoff eligibility involved. It was just some guy from Australia coming in on his debut and winning, and it was really awesome that we could just celebrate that. And that's also why we got the Austin Dillon shit. But like the reason why it means more is because like you get a guaranteed spot in the playoffs as long as not more than 16 winners ever win, but that's never gonna happen unless if NASCAR goes on to somehow make the parity even more. Like they'll probably just throw
2022.
All I'm going to say,
2001 actually.
2003 is the
Yeah.
reason we're in this situation, but 2003 was also the beauty of the old format. Ryan Newman finished sixth, I think, in the points that year with 8 wins on the season. And Matt Kenseth, with a measly 1 win, won the championship that year because he had what, like 31 top tens?
Yeah.
Well,
A
there's an argument for
ridiculous
both
number. It
sides.
was
I
crazy.
think on Matt Kenseth won the championship fair and square. I don't think anyone's going to argue that, or I mean, unless
Under
if you're
that point system, we would have almost had the same thing this year. Christopher Bell at Phoenix would have passed Chase Elliott for the point lead, I believe, in
the
the
only
final
thing
stage of that
the
race to
only
win the
thing I would
championship.
change is I would just make winning mean a little bit more because
Yeah,
yeah,
the issue is it means so much. It means nothing if you're a front runner. It means everything if you're in the back because it means you have a shot at a freaking championship if you win Daytona in
yeah,
August.
yeah,
But if you're at the
I'm more
front, it means nothing because you could just be you can consistent run your way into the
yeah.
final round.
Oh, ow. God, I just got whatever. Um, but like, here's what I would do. Like, if we ever went back to the Latford, sorry, just like full season points. If we were to, honestly, I would like to experiment with what the point system is now, where it's like 40 points for a win, and then second place gets 35, and then we count down 34, 33, because we've
I
never
like
gotten.
awarding more points though. I feel
Yeah,
like
no, I do
by
like it, but
awarding
I would.
points for on top of, awarding a ton of points, I don't know why. It just feels more natural for
Yeah.
racing. And on
No,
top of
I
that,
agree with you
also
on that though as well. At the same time, I don't know how to explain it, but I do.
That's why I don't
something
like
about,
Formula
I don't
One.
know why, something about seeing, the point leader with thousands of points instead of like 300 with like 10 races to go.
Yeah,
F1.
no, I can see that.
It's different.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Big number equals cool.
F1 needs to change their point system.
But
Nah.
like, but also, I will say, I do like that NASCAR added the fastest lap point. That is
Yeah, I
nice,
do.
even though but it only really matters for like the regular season championship. It doesn't matter for anything else, or I guess the
I
playoffs.
like my point system for Pepsi Cup Series. Like 100 for a
Well,
win.
you will
I think it's
you will
80 for second, 75 for third, and it just keeps going down by 5 till you get to 20. Then I'm pretty sure it's just,
counting down by one or something.
yeah, something like that. I don't remember the whole thing. I haven't filmed the full race in 2.5 months now, 3 months now. It's been since about Daytona. Whenever I finished Kansas, I just kind of been going at snail's pace, about one lap every like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Um,
Except that's 4 or 5 months for me.
I'm about halfway through filming Speed Weeks for Daytona. It's been 3 months. Should be, if I can keep this pace up, which I'm nervous I won't, just because I'm losing so much motivation, I should be able to finish by about August, right before I go to college, and then you won't see another race out of me for another year. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I kind of like my point format. All I would say is I like the idea of if you lead a lap, you get points. I want that back.
Yeah.
Rewards dominance.
Mhm.
If you lead the most laps, you get points.
Yeah, I will
Rewards
say.
dominance and consistency. I'd even
Uh,
say keep
uh,
stages. Just get rid of the caution. Mid-race points.
no,
Again, rewards dominance.
I don't know why, but I'm not really a big fan of stage points for some reason. I
The
just
only
like
thing I
having.
don't like about it is if you DNF from a race, it saves you. I don't
Yeah.
think
Stage. I hate stage
In my
caution.
opinion, I've been more of an argument that racing is a war of attrition, and you need to get to the end. And if
in
you get
today's
screwed, you get
NASCAR,
screwed.
stage racing definitely works. Just need to get rid of the
Yeah,
caution.
it
In
does, but
old
like,
NASCAR with the full season points format, stage racing does not work. Can't
yeah,
have it. Just doesn't work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would definitely agree with that. Like I'm just gonna take lead racing for example. Like, I know you don't like this series, but like jockey, how we have the chase, I think
Ew.
stage points work. But with gel, what we have coming out, or jockey endurance league, we're not doing stage points. We're just doing points at the end of the race. Which actually our first race is tomorrow night or Saturday night. It's the 3 hours at Daytona. That'll be a fun race.
Yeah.
Sam, will you make it
For what?
for Daytona?
No.
Yeah.
I'm at
Trying
my
to think.
dad's.
Ethan, aren't you making an endurance league?
That kind of fell through. I haven't
No.
talked to Carson about that in forever.
No,
Probably been
don't,
2.5 weeks now.
dude, don't pair up with Carson on that. Carson, I'm being 100% honest with you. I don't care if he listens to podcast. Carson is a bitch. Just, he's so annoying.
He really is.
I can
Just,
see
he
it.
just,
He's entitled on the track for sure.
yeah.
Um, but I feel like he knows how to run a league at least. He's not a
Actually,
great driver. He's fast. He's just kind of entitled.
I do
But
have a question.
I feel like he could
When
run a
when
league.
I actually run jockey and it's not NOS, do you think I do a good job of running a league? And I want y'all's honest opinion.
I literally, my sample size is next to none. That's the
Okay.
issue.
Yeah.
You
Partly it's my own
you've
fault, but it
lost
also is.
complete control of your own league. I hate to put it that way, but you've lost.
No, it is.
It's
It is.
ruined. It's a hellhole now.
I mean, I will say NLS is going to be gone for 6 weeks at Fort Knox, so I'll have basically complete. It's going to be me and Kobe running the league.
Yeah, you might be able to save it then, because
Yeah.
he's done some pretty irreparable damage at times.
Yeah. I would love to bring you back, but I feel like if I
And then he
do,
blames it on me. Oh, I'm not coming back. Hell no. You could take me
yeah,
off
I
the
didn't think it.
blacklist all you want. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
No,
Speaking of blacklist,
I'm doing XRA.
we recently blacklisted Valvac.
Dang. We I'm doing
I don't know.
XRA.
I don't know if I'm
I
allowed to
might
talk
join
about it.
another league if I really feel like it. If Victor and Tim go through with their making XRA and iRacing league thing. But
Whenever I
other
get
than that, I'm
iRacing, I
sticking to
might just
XRA.
end up making jockey. And once I end up getting iRacing, there's a very likely possibility jockey just becomes an iRacing league, or I might just make a dedicated iRacing league that's just called the Jockey iRacing League.
I hope you know it's like $50 to host a lobby on iRacing.
Yeah.
I thought it was like $5,
No,
but
I'm pretty sure it's 50. It's expensive. It might not
damn.
be 50, but it's expensive. It's double digits based on what I remember.
Okay, well, where's my phone? Let me check.
It was
Because
crazy.
um, how much to host a iRacing race? So if you want to host a private session, it costs 50 cents per hour. So if you do a 4-hour session, it would cost you $2.
That's it.
I think
Dang.
I think you
I
saw
like that.
50. I
It's
think you
not
saw
bad.
50 and you thought it was $50, but it's 50 cents.
Okay.
That's
That's
kind of
not
funny.
bad. That's
Yeah, so
$12 for a 24-hour endurance race.
yeah. So like for example, like a regular jockey race is usually like, I don't know, just take a safe bet and say
One of
90,
my
well,
life
it's
goals
probably
is
gonna
to race
run
a moon car.
if I'd probably pay for a 90-minute session, so it would be $1.50 for every race.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And this is like a private session, so this yeah. Like I'm pretty sure if you want to do like draft like join like run a draft master race, that stuff is free because you're just
Yeah.
going into public lobbies and
Well, if you're
Yeah.
going
racing.
into somebody's lobby, it's free, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it just costs
Right.
money to post one, which I
Yeah.
think is I do think that's stupid, but iRacing is greedy as fuck.
They, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
my plan is probably 2026, 2027. Michael Avery, watch out on iRacing. I will wreck you. I will have like the worst safety
want to
rating.
rating, bro. Yeah, my safety rating's going to be like through the floor.
And no, I will say, I I've been doing some I've been doing like some super speedway racing on a lot of stuff, or sorry, on a lot of stuff recently, and I feel like I've actually done a good job um of actually what's it called? Like actually holding a line and running in a pack
I just
recently.
can't drive hard to drive cars. That's my
Yeah.
thing, which is literally every car.
Yeah.
I just like throttle. I cannot trail brake. I don't know if it's what it is, but I
Like on
cannot trail brake. I cannot, for the life of me, I can race without traction control, but I can't really be fast without it if I don't have like rewinds or stuff like that. Because like
it's okay.
I'm just
It's
using
okay.
Ep1 as an example. Sure, it's not a good example because it's not a good game, but you know, you really.
Yeah.
I use those flashbacks a lot, okay? There are
What
Yeah.
am
times
I
I
when I'm using
it's
them.
watching?
it's
What?
okay.
There are
It's
times
okay,
when I'm
man.
using
It's
them
okay.
like 3 or 4 times a lap just to
It's
make it around.
okay. It's okay. I do too, man. And also one other thing, side note, speaking of iRacing, I did run iRacing when I was in Daytona. It was like $20 for to run a short race, which was kind of expensive. But
You got ripped off.
yeah, but it was still nice though to do it.
The Rocky Top
And
is so overrated.
I won a race at Daytona against the I know it was against the AI, but I still won.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, apparently, side note, under the guy that was doing it, I'm the only person ever to win a race at at the Motorsports Hall of Fame at Daytona Beach. That's cool.
Nice.
Bro. People who go there must suck.
Well, yeah, because people are just going there to fuck around. Like the guy that's done it, like he actually races a lot. Like he's literally one of us, just like he's probably 19. Um like literally he's told me about how like people don't know how to get out of neutral.
Did it have a stick shift?
Yeah, it's a like it's a
Okay.
really nice it's a nice sim rig. Hang on, I have some pictures. Let me send it. I'll send you on Snap.
Yeah, I'll look at it later after we're done filming.
Just look at it right now. It'll
Um,
be
but yeah, racing games suck. Assetto Corsa. The only good thing I'll say is Assetto Corsa is probably the most realistic racing simulator I've ever done. and it's also the easiest, which that might be a good thing. I don't know. It might just be the nature of GT cars versus F1 cars and big, heavy stock
Okay,
cars.
okay. So I'm just gonna go on a tangent really quickly. Okay, so Washington football college had
That changed quickly. I
uh
wasn't done with my.
their blue, so their version of blue, their spring game recorded, but Penn State didn't want that.
Yeah, no. Penn State not recording the blue-white game is tragic.
I just hate our
That's,
school. Okay,
that's
go back
become
to
a tradition in the Shield household out here in Pennsylvania, and unfortunately, I will be no more because,
okay. You can go back on your tangent.
Oh wait, no, I wanted to say
well,
something.
now we're on the
Speaking of,
talk about, well, now we're on the college football talk, so we're kind of
well,
stuck here now because that conversation has ended, and you don't just go
yeah,
back to a conversation once it's over.
yeah,
This is
that's
like
fair.
rule one of talking, Sam.
Oh no,
Don't you
I
get taught
want
this stuff in kindergarten?
whatever. It doesn't matter. One thing that I want to talk about. This is related to college football, but some details came out about the college football game recently. So first of all, EA Sports is doing the college football game. They're doing a collab with Metallica, so Enter Sandman's
Oh
probably
my
going to be in the
God.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, so Enter Sandman's going to be in the game, and also, um, High School's going to be in Road to Glory.
Yep, very excited
You
for
know
that.
what we need? It's not a complete game until we have Dr. Pepper Fansville.
Mm.
Bro, imagine
Arguably
like
the greatest ad
it
series
would be
of all
it
time.
would be
I've
really
never
funny. It would be
they're the
really
only it's the only ad in the world in which when it comes on I am fully captivated and just I wish it would go on.
Yeah, it's not
Mama,
captivating
oh,
when
ho,
they
ho,
show
ho,
the
ho, ho.
same one like 500 times until you wait for the next episode.
Mama, can I have cookie? Dito, roll back to kitchen. uh,
Okay. But yeah, they also did say that like some other things, the game's not going to be on PC again. The reason I've heard a lot of
Well,
saying though, the reason why that it's not going to be on PC for a little bit is because EA is for legal reasons because like they don't want for some reason EA is worried that like people are gonna mod the game and put real players in the game and all that stuff and that's gonna undermine legal issues and whatever.
dang.
So basically they don't want people modding the game so that people they can put like real rosters in the game or something. I don't know why.
What else was I gonna say? Um,
Um
so that's cool. It sucks. I don't really care to be honest. I don't have a PC, so
but yeah, no, but it does suck for
sucks to be a
PC gamers
PC
though.
user. Just buy an Xbox. If you have enough money for a PC, you gotta have enough money lying around somewhere for an Xbox or a PlayStation. Um, yeah. Tomorrow. Well, I guess at this point it's today, and by the time this gets uploaded, it might be yesterday. Uh,
It's gonna be
Kentucky
the
Derby
day
is going to
before.
happen. This is the world famous American. Oh, I dropped my phone. This is the world famous America Day of gambling all your life savings away on an animal.
Oh fucking yeah.
Now, I'm not good with betting odds. I don't know any horse names or anything, so I'm not going to
who
go into
wants
that.
coffee?
All I'm going to say
Does
is if
anyone
you
want
want to
coffee? Who
win
wants
big,
coffee?
all I'm going to say is if you want to win big, place all your life savings on the horse with the worst odds because, yeah, it'll work out. You just got to believe. I actually did that once. We did like a pool. for the Kentucky Derby. My mom was like, "Yo, do you have $5? Do you want to enter this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." There's like 15 people in it. So I, just being funny and wanting to waste $5, picked the horse with the worst odds in 2022 when it was a little horse by the name of Rick Strike.
I
And do you
don't.
know what
Did
he
you?
did? He
He
He won
won.
the
lost.
Kentucky Derby.
He came from like 10th or something to win
Wait.
the damn thing
Wait a
in
minute.
the
Was it?
home
Esmond,
stretch.
Esmond,
Wait a
And I
minute.
got
Was
like
it?
a
Esmond, hold
hundred
on.
dollars.
Esmond, he
Oh
had 50 to 1 odds to win the Kentucky Derby. He won the fucking Kentucky Derby, dude.
yeah, I know. I heard you. I heard it the first
Dude,
time.
last year's race was crazy too. Bro,
No
we
wonder
got
why
we
you
got
have
the
a
Atlanta
crippling
finish.
gambling
We got the
addiction.
NASCAR Atlanta finish in the Kentucky Derby. They were three
Bro,
wide at the stripe.
bro
It took them
predicted
like 5
cars.
minutes to decide. It was like we got the Piston Cup finish.
He did what in his cup?
Yeah. We made it nearly a full year without an overtime finish in the NASCAR Truck Series. It's been since Wilkesboro.
Real?
Yep.
That I can't. I don't believe that.
Yeah. It's
There's
crazy.
no
We're
freaking
closing in
way.
on an hour. I'm thinking somewhere around an hour will be good for a pilot episode,
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll probably get longer as we go on. And with the first pick of the 2025 NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans should have picked Tyler Warren. No
Abdul
soundboards.
Carter.
No soundboards because they might.
It's not copyrighted. I'm not. I'm doing non-copyrighted ones.
You're still not allowed to. I can turn soundboards off in general too, can't I?
I'll stop it. Just don't turn them off.
Use soundboard off. Yeah. Um. Yeah. What else do we want to talk about? I want to go to bed soon.
I want to go to bed right
Big
now.
thing. I'm. I have to wake up early. I have railfanning to do tomorrow.
You know what?
I don't know when I'm gonna have to leave, but I'm gonna be railfanning on the Norfolk Southern Sunbury line, maybe,
What the hell is
or
rail
the
fanning?
Delaware Lackawanna Pocono line. I don't really know yet.
What
I'm
was the
going with a
one
buddy
word?
of mine.
What was the one word you just used? Rail fanning.
Yeah, we might even. I don't even know what we're gonna do. We might even head on down to the Reading and Northern, but there's no NRFF tomorrow because it's Saturday, so I don't really know what's going on there, but who knows? I'm still new to freight rail fanning because I'm a steam guy. I like steam. I haven't really got into freight, but I missed I missed a crazy lash up today, which is like what they call like engine locomotive combos. Um,
That's spell Kentucky.
there was a special unit, which just means it had a very special paint scheme on it, and it was with a heritage unit, which is like just as it sounds. It's like it's like a throwback
All right,
because
Ethan.
train companies are good and they do that and they like do heritage units where like they make a throwback paint scheme to one of the railroads they bought out.
All right, Ethan. The odds in the Kentucky Derby. Citizen
Okay,
Bull 20
hit
to
me up.
1. Citizen Bull 20 to 1. Night Close 30 to 1. Final Gambit 30 to 1. Well, I'm going to go through all of them. American Promise 30 to 1. Admire Daytona, 30-1.
Dude, I'm going with Admire Daytona.
I
Are you
really want that
kidding?
one to win. I really want that one to win too. Luxor Calf, 15-1. Journalism, 33-1. Burnham,
Journalism?
yeah. Burnham Square, 12-1. Flying Mohawk, 30-1. East Avenue, 20-1. Publisher, 20-1. His Tack, 20-1. Render Judgment, 30-1. Coal Battle, 30-1. Sandman, 6-1. Sovereignty, other one. Chunk of God, Gold. Sorry. 30-1. Owen Almighty, 30-1. And Beza, 12-1.
Nice. I'm going Admire Daytona.
Yep, same here.
Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Hopefully, I can catch that maybe they'll have that last trip going again tomorrow. I don't really know. You guys won't
The
understand this. Maybe some of the people listening will understand this. But I missed 4001 um earlier today. And
the best the best 90
NS
seconds in the best 90 seconds in all of May.
yeah. We had NS 4001 and also we had the Conrail Heritage Unit. I think that's what 8098 as a rear DPU, which was crazy. Um
Oh, it's
I think
2
it was
minutes.
RJ Corman 1502 the other.
It's not 90 seconds, Ethan. It's 2 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot going on. Any other sports? I mean,
Got baseball.
baseball's baseball. Can I just
Yeah.
say that the Cubs are the best team so far this year?
Yeah, they really are.
They have one of the best records, and they're the only team. Well, until they played the Pirates, but before they played the Pirates, they were the only team remaining to not have played a team below 500,
Mm-hmm.
and they have one of the best records. The Mets are a bit inflated. They, as of 2 days ago, have played the least amount of teams over 500,
20.
which probably helps as to, why they have such a good record. Juan Soto's probably about to have the craziest month of all time because can't have nice things.
Yep.
Yeah, he's batting 258 now. It's gone up. He had 2 home runs yesterday versus the Diamondbacks. But other than that, he's kind of just been there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Aaron Judge is having an all-time season right now.
It's the
After
second
tonight's
year.
game against the Rays, he's batting 430 now with 10 home runs, 32 RBIs, and somehow has 3 stolen bases. I did not know he had speed, but apparently he does. He hit a triple tonight. Just like his second triple of the week somehow. And I believe it's the first time he's had multiple triples in a season. Because, again, he's not known for his speed. Um, Kyle Schwarber had a home run today.
And Max Kepler.
D-backs. The NOS is kind of falling apart. The Dodgers have kind of taken control of that, and San Diego and San Francisco have just completely collapsed all of a sudden.
Bro, wait, I have a
And the
question.
D-backs have
Speaking of
not been
San,
there either. What?
speaking of San Diego, What the hell happened to Fernando Tatis Jr.?
He got hit by a pitch today, and it started swelling like
Yeah,
crazily.
Oh, no. I don't mean like today. I mean like what the hell happened to his career?
he's been good.
Well, he was on
Oh,
like PEDs a couple of years ago, got banned. I think that was the cover curse, right? 22?
yeah.
Or
No, he
was
Yeah,
was
that
on
23? He was
21.
on 23, right? 21.
21.
No, he was on 21, which what that was
And then
that
he
was the
just fell
first
off.
year that brought its stuff over to
Ethan,
He
Xbox.
didn't have his
Ethan,
drugs, and he wasn't good
Ethan,
anymore. What?
Ethan, senior live on BBC 5 live breakfast. They cut out the broadcast when we
Or
unexpectedly hit the
the
correct lyric. Surprise! Today's lyrics exactly.
Dude, we're going to have to do an episode of this where we just have Red Cross and Sam on, like on a day where
hell
Michael
no.
can't. We're just going to have Levi and Sam come on, and we're just going to ramble for multiple hours about grunge music and hot takes. That'll be a fun episode.
All right. Okay. Well, I know that I should be here for like the entire time, but I really need to go because I have to go early in the morning and it's almost 1 a.m.
Yeah, I also
Yeah,
have to go,
stick
Ethan.
with it a little more. We're almost done.
I
Um,
can't, man. I'm about to fall asleep.
I'm also about
well,
to
do you
fall
want to do
asleep.
your farewell now? Do a farewell.
Farewell.
I mean, I guess he did a farewell.
All right. Here's my farewell. Uh, uh, put skibbity toilet goodbye.
Shut up.
I don't think we ever let him have
And
a farewell again.
bro, I'm literally the host or the co-host.
Yeah, true. Good point. You're gonna have a lot more of those.
Yeah. All
This
right.
means a
Okay.
lot of
But
time to get.
so thanks for letting me be on this, and it was a fun pilot. I just don't really have that much to talk about anymore, and I'm literally like falling asleep as we speak.
Yeah.
All right. Well, but good night.
You know,
So, looking at some of the scores from today, Padres are getting back on track. They beat the Pirates 9-4. Um, I wish I had like a better like scoring thing where I could just see all the scoring plays and stuff and stats, but no. ESPN Fantasy doesn't let me do that. Reds won. Reds are half decent this year, you know. They're
yeah.
right around 500. Not great. Ellie didn't really do anything. He got on base, but and well, he must have because he scored a run, but no hits today for Ellie De La Cruz. I feel like he's the
Mm-hmm.
best shortstop in the league. I know Lindor's been on a tear recently, and Volpe started the season hot before he died, right before Lindor got hot. But I feel like De La Cruz is better than everybody. Baltimore won 3-0 today against the Royals. Um, Dodgers beat the Braves 2-1. Mookie Betts had a homer.
Not surprised.
Red Sox 6-1 over the Twins today.
Not surprised.
Alex Bregman hit a homer. White Sox beat the Astros
Wow.
7-3. Chicago's not terrible this year. Cubs 10-0 over the Brewers. Who was pitching out there today? Alexander. Ooh, didn't even their starter didn't even make it an inning today. That's tough. Only 2 earned runs though. Probably. What is the walks looking like? Do we? He had no walks, 1 strikeout, 3 hits, and 2 earned runs. I'm not gonna lie, I think they jumped the gun there. Unless they have like an off day and they just wanted to like get the bullpen in there in case it got worse, but like you're jumping the gun if you only give up 2 runs in the first inning and you get taken out. That's still a winnable game. And a starting pitcher can still get their mojo back, before it gets too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Tucker had an RBI today, 2 hits. Tigers 9-1 over the Angels. And it was always going to happen sooner or later, but Mike Trout's on the IL.
Yep. Not surprised.
So there's that. I dropped Trout from my fantasy lineup. I was waiting for that to happen. Mets won 9-3 over the Cardinals. Lindor had a hit. Alonso had a home run. Nimmo had a homer.
Surprising.
Oakland beat Miami. The battle of mid going on there. Oakland's not terrible. They were, I think, 18-13 now. Um, but yeah, Yankees 3-0 over the Rays. Aaron Judge another 2-hit night. He closes in on, unreal batting averages for May.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Goldschmidt as well, 2 hits tonight with the 3-run homer. Max Fried was strong as well. He's in my fantasy lineup, so that's always a good thing. And Giants beat the Rockies 4-0. Colorado is just awful.
They really are awful.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been a little over an hour. I think we're good for our first episode, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you for having me. Should do this regularly. Every Saturday we should do this.
yeah, just next time we won't start it on a Friday and end it on a Saturday at 12:50 in the morning when almost everybody's busy the following day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll plan this smarter next time. We'll see if this becomes a weekly thing or if it's just whenever I feel like it or what goes on with it.
Who
That
knows?
was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe because this is going on the Pepsi Cup channel. Yep, I'm finally uploading on there. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.
Night.